are going to take you on a walking tour of our local breweries in downtown of our hometown, Billings, Montana.
Where we're going to end up the tour at the Last Chance Pub and Cider Mill for a behind-the-scenes tour of an apple pressing operation for cider. I'm your host, Larry Larson.
And I'm Laura Sheets. Let's put on our walking shoes.
Grab your drinking glove and grab your growler.
And come along with us for this episode's journey of the American Dream Billings. Our fill of beer, I'm ready for something a little lighter. Let's go into Last Chance Pub and Cider Mill and see what they have to offer. Well, here we are behind the scenes at Last Chance Pub and Cider Mill. I am here with Travis.
Hello.
The head cider maker here, and he's going to walk us through the process of pressing apples and making their delicious cider.
Apples come in, the bins get loaded onto here, our bin dumper. This picks up, dumps all the apples onto the rolling table. All the apples come across the rolling table, and any rotten apples will get pulled off and they go to a farmer for his cattle. The apples then go through the washing machine here, kind of bristles and water, just wash the apples quickly. They ride up the elevator to the grinder and they get ground up, and at that point it's called pomace. And then the pomace pump pumps all the pomace up to these hoses. And then we build these kind of like apple cakes basically. So you'll lay down a plate, a frame, a sheet, and pump the pomace into the sheet, fold it over, and you do that about 15 times. Cart rolls under and lifts up, presses all the juice out. And then all the juice is collected underneath and then pumped into one of these tanks over here for fermentation. And then after the press, all that leftover stuff gets tossed into a dumper for the same farmer that takes the rotten apples.
So really, there's very little waste.
Almost none, yeah.
That's amazing.
When the press is over, we sulfite and then we add enzymes, and the enzymes react with the pectins that are in the apples, and that settles out. We get a better fermentation that way. And then about 24 hours later, we will pitch the yeast. Pitching is a brewer's term for just adding the yeast to the solution. The yeast will then go in, consume any of the sugars, and pump out ethanol. It takes about 8 days for fermentation. We crash the temperature, yeast falls asleep basically, fall out of solution, and then we can mix it, blend it, do whatever we need to from there to make our different varieties of cider.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a back scene tour.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. So we're here with the owner, Sam Hoffman.
Hi, Laura.
How are ya?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great. I just wanted to ask you just kind of how you came up with this.
I've been in the beer business for 25 years now, and so about 8 years ago, I started realizing there wasn't a lot of cider in Montana. And I grew up in New England where, cider's kind of part of the culture and apples, and there's a lot of that. And so I got to thinking, how can I kind of bring some of that to Montana? And so in about 2016, we decided to bite the bullet and try and bring cider on a commercial scale to Montana. We had the good fortune of coming to this building, which has just been an awesome facility. And now we have a nice big seating area for the pub. We have a great area to make cider, and we have a big warehouse to store apples, cans, kegs, whatever we need.
Well, thank you, Sam and Taylor, for letting us come on a behind-the-scenes tour and sharing your vision of the cider mill with us. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
And thank you for coming along on our version of the American Dream Billings.